I like cars and I like video games.
Fortnite.
So you would imagine that when the two come together in perfect harmony, I would adore the creation that was made. And you would be right for the most part. I do enjoy racing games. I do find them very fun and engaging, especially being able to drive vehicles that I otherwise will probably never even see with my own two eyes in the real world. However, what once was a genre that gripped onto my attention like sticky summer tires on hot tarmac is now a genre that I've come to loathe, not love. There's something seriously wrong with modern day racing games, more specifically modern day arcade racing games. What once was a genre that was filled to the brim with exciting new releases that pushed the limits with each new entry, trying to outdo their competitors every single time, is now a genre that is in a perpetual drought with a large lack of releases, but still, somehow at the same time, are oversaturated with the same uninspired story writing, needless grinding, disgusting monetization practices, and lazy attempts at new content that plague every other racing game. With each new release, these publishers only sour the legendary status of these series and then strengthen the hopeless nostalgia and unanswered wishes for the people that just want to play something like the games that came prior. The games that are now nearly 20 years old at this point, and the games that deserve not this slap to the face that they've gotten, but a proper successor to take their place. There is hope on the horizon for arcade racing games. No, not in Mexico, but in Japan. In a small garage where you can modify your vehicle to all your heart's content, and where a single developer has been putting in so much time, dedication, and effort, all while listening to and internalizing every piece of criticism and support the community has given them. A small game with an early 2000s PS2 game aesthetic, a game with all the 90s cars you could dream of, and then some. A game lovingly created to appeal to all arcade racing fanatics and gearheads alike, a game that attempts to hold a candle to modern-day arcade racing games and hopefully will successfully ignite some passion in them once more. A game known as Night Runners. Set in 90s Japan, Night Runners appeals to every JDM weeaboo out there. There's stance builds, VIP builds, race builds, and so much more. You can customize the full interior and exterior of your car, each part subtracting or adding weight to the vehicle as they are added or removed, even accounting for downforce. Cars will need basic maintenance to stay running healthy, and actual thought is needed for planning builds. This is achieved by using supporting mods such as upgrading your cooling system to help run a turbo or something, with things like engine temperatures being something that's actually thought about for once. They'll try and make your dream build in the fastest car in Japan while also ensuring the reliability and wanted power gains for each vehicle are taken into account. Players will have to think about what mods they put on their vehicles, rather than just saving up a ton of money and slapping on every single maxed out part with no repercussions. Vehicles also need to be refueled at gas stations where you can host mini car meets, something that sounds really cool. From the sounds of it, it'll be beginner friendly, but will also appeal to gearheads that are into stuff like this. With the release of a demo hopefully coming later this year, this game is shaping up to be a huge step in the right direction for arcade racers, and I cannot be more excited for it. Based off of all the information the developer has given us, this will be a full-on arcade racer that takes on many elements from sim racers as well. Think of it as like Forza Horizon 5 set in Japan, but on a way smaller scale, probably. There's even a used car market similar to the one in the Gran Turismo games, where you'll join an auction to try and buy the car you want to build next if you want to save a little bit of cash and not buy it new. The only criticism that I have for this is it seems like even if you buy an automatic car with the plans to put a manual transmission in it, the cars are locked to whatever you buy them as. I think it's kinda dumb that you're stuck with whatever transmission the car has. I'm sure there's a reason for it, but people buy cheaper versions of enthusiast cars in automatics all the time just to slap a 5 or 6 speed in there. It's a small complaint, but it would be super cool to implement something like that. It seems like there's no real difficulty slider or vehicle options to change from manual to automatic, so I guess that's what the developer is going for. Like, if you want to sit back and relax and not have to shift your gears, you just buy an automatic car. But they've also said that the automatics, since they're 90s cars, do shift a little bit slower. I'll be interested to see how this is balanced out, or if it's even really worth driving an automatic at all in this game. So, let's talk about cars. The main driving point, no pun intended, of racing games. What cars have been confirmed thus far as being in the game? Well, we can be for sure that a Nissan 180SX does appear in this game, as it's been the car that most of the videos are around and definitely seems like it's the most fleshed out car thus far, probably alluding to it being the hero car of this game or some sort. Other than that, we have an R34 GTR, R32 GTR, S15, and a Chaser as being confirmed. We can also see on the developer's Twitter that there's going to be some European whips as well, namely the Porsche 911. And if we go really far back when super early development posts were made, we can see a Ferrari F40. It's been confirmed that not only Japanese cars will be in this game, which is super cool. It'll definitely be predominantly Japanese cars, as it is set in Japan, and older cars, as it's set in the 90s, which is okay with me because I really only like 90s Japanese cars for the most part. One wish that I do have, though, to add some more diversity is I hope the developer considers some American cars. Before you call me dumb, yes, I know it's set in Japan, but Japan actually does have some ties to American cars and American car culture. It's not the most common, but it's still something that exists. Hell, they even have a culture dedicated to Dodge vans and racing them. I think it would be super funny and super cool to have an old clapped out Dodge van that goes 180 miles an hour down the freeway. Also, developer, please add a Miata. Miata is always the answer. Also, while editing this, I confirmed that there is an RX-7 as well. If there's any more that I left out, leave them down in the comments below. There is so much stuff to talk about for this game. There's a reputation system, there's a photo mode being implemented, there's just so much more that's going to be added and that is already being added as we speak. So I thought I'd take some time to go ahead and shut up for a little bit and show you pure, unedited gameplay of this game, full screen, just so you can get a feel for it and see if it's something that you're as interested in as I am. Keep in mind, this is being developed by one single person. This already has a better sense of speed than the past like 5 racing games we've gotten, not including Unbound, because that game definitely does have a good sense of speed. I think the game it reminds me of the most, though, is definitely Midnight Club, more specifically Midnight Club 3, which is an amazing thing. please go check out the developer and go check out all of his social medias. They'll be linked down below in the description. And if you're excited for this game like I am, please remember, again, this is one guy making this, so let him have as much time as he needs. So let the guy take his time, let it take as long as it needs to, let it marinate, let it be a successful racing game. I really hope that the developer, as ambitious as they seem, has everything come to full fruition with this project, because it's absolutely insane and I wish them nothing but the best. I applaud the developer for even trying this hard in the first place, so please dude, if you're somehow watching this, take as much time as you need, don't let this video rush you, and don't let the naysayers get you down. They do have a Discord if you're more interested in this project. Like I said before, I'm going to leave all the links down in the description below, and yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I really hope that this game gives you hope for racing games again, just like it did for me.